There's this organization called Versic, and they are a global data analytics and risk assessment firm. Stephen Clark is their vice president for government relations, and he shared with our state legislators the grade that South Carolina got for the risk that insurers assume if they provide liquor liability coverage in our state for restaurants, bars, and venues.
In evaluating a liquor exposure from both an underwriting and a pricing perspective, it's critical to understand the liability environment a particular risk operates in. To that end, our liquor liability manual contains a liquor liability grade based on a scale of 0 to 10 that generally reflects a particular state's liability environment with respect to establishments in the business of manufacturing, selling, or serving alcohol. A 0 grade generally reflects no to minimum liability exposure, while a 10 grade reflects strict liability or the highest liability exposure. In comparison, some of South Carolina's neighboring states have lower liquor liability grades, as the law in those states have a different application of joint and several liability on the liquor vendor and generally set limitations on liability to varying degrees. The South Carolina grade is currently set at a 6.
We in South Carolina, we statutorily required people that sell alcohol to have $1 million aggregate coverage. And from what I heard you say, that didn't change our number. We were a 3, and then we went to a 6, but it wasn't because of that, right?
It has nothing to do with the limits. It's more with the potential exposure that the liability structure within the state presents to the establishment.
Quick question. You talked about one state having a 0. Which state
Yes,
would that be and why?
It's probably Utah, right?
So there are actually 7 states with 0. The one in the south is Virginia, and a 0 typically is assigned because there is really no to minimal liability exposure for these establishments.